Hi everybody, welcome back to 30 Days Until Done. We're talking about titles today. I'm just thinking about the power of suggestion. How many of you yesterday had to clear your throat the entire time I was talking about the throat clearing? I did, and my wife who's filming this had to as well. If I yawn now, I guess everybody would want to yawn because we're all empathetic people. Otherwise, we wouldn't be poets. Okay, so we talked about throat clearing and how you often have this feeling like you have to give some sort of like background before you get into this poem, and that background is often unnecessary. And I said at the end of that, well, let's think. Tomorrow I'll give you ways to avoid that, and that's titling, right? And titling is part of the poem that people often don't think of really in terms of it's really a part of the poem. So what does this do? It can do many things, and you can also include an epigraph by another poet or even yourself, another person, whatever. The title does many things. The first thing it does and should do is give us a sense of what this poem is about, give us a sense of a place to start. Now, I gave you two poems so far this week. The first was Flying at Night, right? Because Ted Kooser uses the title Flying at Night, he doesn't have to explain that he's flying at night. He starts off with, above us there's a galaxy, below us there are farms. It's as clear as it could possibly be because they're flying at night, right? Jerry Laughlin uses Iceberg Theory. And if you have the background, you know immediately what the Iceberg Theory is. It's, oh, this is a poem about literary criticism, right? About literary device, about all this stuff. And then he starts talking about iceberg lettuce, and you realize this is a poem about two things. Because he's titled it well, right? What are you going for a title? You're going for something that can help us to understand the meaning. The second thing you're going for is when we get down to the end of it, you can look back and think to yourself, oh wow, that's also what this means, right? As multiple layers of meaning. I'm going to read later this week Sharon Olds' poem, Beyond Harm. And Beyond Harm is about when her father died. Right before her father was an abusive, physically abusive, incredibly abusive person. And right before he died, he said that he loved her. And he would often do that and then take it back and say, I don't love you, and then beat her up. But right before he died, he said he loved you. He said, I love you. And then he died. And she realizes, I won. This game he's been playing my whole life, I've won it. Because he can't take that back. The last thing, he can never take back saying that he loved me, because that will always be with me. And I'm beyond harm. It's like that gets another level of meaning, right? Because you realize the impact of that and the irony of that and everything else. It's a tremendously well-wrought poem. Okay, so what we're going to do? You're going to find a poem in which you feel that you have to have throat clearing. Let's post that poem and let's think of multiple titles for that. Maybe post 3 or 4 or 5 titles down below it, or with it, or however you want to do it. I often will start off with a title that's just absolutely terrible, and it takes me a long time to get through it. Maybe I will try to put down a terrible poem title as well of my own, if I can risk that emotionally with my students. I don't know, or if I have the time. This is a busy week. Tonight I'm teaching a class in the Daw Center for poetry and writing. So if you're in the Pomona area and you want to come down and do this. This is Tuesday, isn't it? I think this is Tuesday. If it's Tuesday, it is. I don't know, abstractly.
I think it's Monday.
Is it Monday? Okay, so Tuesday, every day in January, we're teaching classes. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow on 30 Days Until Done, and post your homework down below.